Hello, and welcome to the virtual information session regarding the Tempe Elementary Online Academy. So glad that you're with us here tonight. My name is Cindy Inman, and I will be the coordinator for the Online Academy. Before we begin, I want to go through a few housekeeping types of things. One is, if you are on YouTube Live, there is a section where you can write in comments in a chat or questions in the chat section. So Tracy Harvester, who is our Executive Director of Teaching and Learning, she's on the other end and she will be able to answer those questions for you. If you are viewing from the Tempe Elementary School website, you will not see that chat option. So you can do a couple of things. You can either go to YouTube Live, or you have the option of emailing us at onlineacademy@tempeschools.org, and we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can with those questions and information. The other thing I wanted to let you know is that the information that we're going through tonight is all on the Tempe Elementary website. So if we're going through the information and you don't see something exactly right, or it looks blurry to you, or you need a little bit more time to look at that slide, all of these slides are on the Tempe Elementary website, so you can go ahead and view the slides there as well. All right. I wanted to say I'm especially thrilled to know that Tempe Elementary School District has taken the time to make this option available for families. It's an exciting time. We've learned an awful lot throughout this last year, and I think that this is an exciting opportunity for many of our families that were feeling success in this model. As we open our digital doors, I wanted to let you know a little bit about me. I bring forth 28 years of teaching at the Tempe Elementary School District. So let me tell you, it was some time in special ed, it was a little bit of time in the general education, and then I had the opportunity to be one of the first teachers to be a T3 teacher, where we brought in one-to-one computing into our classroom, and then I've had the chance for the last several years to be the leader of the Digital Innovators. So it's been a really exciting journey to be here for 28 years, and to think that it's now coming to the point where we're having this online academy is so exciting. The other thing that's very exciting is to know that Tempe Elementary Online Academy courses will be taught by Tempe Elementary certified teachers. Not only will they be taught by Tempe Elementary certified teachers, they are going to have the curriculum created by those teachers as well. So we are very excited to think about all that's going to happen with making sure that all of our families are being a part of the process as we're going through this. Another thing I want to let you know is that the Online Academy is very, very, we are really wanting to make sure that relationship building is one of our top priorities. So even though you are on an online platform, we want to make sure you know that relationships mean so much to us, and that all families play an integral role in building those relationships, and that our teachers are really looking forward to building those relationships with our students and our families. We will ensure that our teachers are connecting the real world in their daily delivery of the grade level standards, as well as the content, in both synchronous and asynchronous lessons. And we want to make sure that the student participation is engaging and students are feeling really excited about their learning. Families have a very unique opportunity right now to be active partners in this educational path for their child. We're going to make sure that our daily activities are something that are very engaging for students, and we can communicate with all of our staff members and make sure that we have a monthly communication time that our families and staff members meet together. Together we can foster endless possibilities for students so that they can achieve their maximum potential. All right, we have this quote here: there is no backseat in online education. Every student is in the front row. We feel so strongly that this is so important, that when you are learning virtually, you are right in the front row. You're not missing anything. You're one-on-one with your teachers. You're one-on-one with the classmates. And so this is really a powerful quote that we really appreciate having and talking about. So you might be thinking, is this a good choice for me? And so here are some ideas to consider whether or not this is a good choice for you. Did your student enjoy the remote experience? If so, this might be a great choice for them. Is your student self-motivated and enjoys self-paced work? Do they prefer flexibility that comes with online learning? Can they manage their time and set achievable goals? That's something to be thinking about. But are they seeking more of a homeschool environment, or does your family travel some and you want to have the flexibility of being able to join your family members when you're traveling? All of these options might give you a reason for being a part of the Tempe Elementary Online Academy. We're going to go ahead and offer for both our 3rd through 5th grade, as well as our 6th through 8th grade students, the core content areas of reading and writing, mathematics, science, and social studies. And then in elementary school, we're going to have some special areas where they can go and they can have music and PE, art and projects. It's very exciting because music and PE is going to be taught by professional music and PE teachers, and so that's great. And then art and projects, that's going to be brought to you by the classroom teacher. In middle school, every single semester, students are going to choose 2 electives. So 2 electives per semester, and we have a variety right now, like new media art, health and fitness, world language, we have personal finance all around the world. Can you imagine all around the world doing virtual field trips with people all over the world and maybe having pen pals? I mean, really great options. Exploration and innovation, like a music technology and a genius hour. You get to choose what you want to learn about. You get to choose what project you want to do. How exciting. So those are some examples we will have. Now we want to go through a daily schedule and what it might look like as an elementary student or a middle school student. Catherine Haney, one of our digital innovators, is going to take you through what a typical day might look like.
Thanks, Cindy. Like she said, my name is Catherine Haney, and I'm really excited to get to talk to you about this tonight. So, thinking about what would the day in the life of an elementary school student look like with the online academy, okay? We're looking at starting the morning with a morning meeting where the kids would check in with their teacher, the teacher would talk about community building things, social emotional learning, setting the pace for the day, goal setting with the students to really help them get started and kind of think about what their day is going to look like. And then they would have some time for live lessons, which would be the whole group instruction, the content area that they're working on. And then, so the live lessons, yes, that would happen in the morning. At the elementary level, an elementary student might have live lessons at different times throughout the day. This could look like I said, a whole group lesson. It could be a small group lesson with the teacher where she only has 4 or 5 kids. It could be a one-on-one session with the teacher, okay? And then, of course, we want to build in breaks for kids. We know that all of us have probably some screen fatigue, right? But we're really thinking about not having kids just be focused on their screens all day long, but how can we put like meaningful activities and things for them to do besides staring at their screen? I already mentioned the small group work. Each day would involve some time that the kids are working in small groups, as well as independent work time. You know, flexibility is a huge part of this online platform. Flexibility is a huge part of getting to learn and work from home, right? Kind of deciding, okay, when do I have to be present for live lessons, and when can I put other activities that I need to do for my week at different times of the day based on what my family might be doing together, like outings or field trips or things that we're doing, other activities that we're doing. So that independent work time, while it's going to be logged regularly, could be at different times throughout the day. And then, of course, like Cindy said, the kids will have access to specials like music, art, PE. For a middle school student, we're actually going to go back for a second. For a middle school student, it would be very much similar to the elementary, except for middle school students will only have 1 live session daily in a different content area every day, okay? So while that is true, they might get other lessons throughout the day that are asynchronous, pre-recorded, in some sort of way for them to access the content. They could be working on projects with their peers, they could be working on projects with small groups, okay? And then, of course, again, building in breaks for the kids. And then, like Cindy said, they will have the option of 2 electives, and we will have numerous options for them, which we'll talk about in a moment. And again, just like in elementary school, we want to make sure that no kids fall through the cracks, and so those middle school students will also have opportunities to meet with their teachers in small groups, and then, of course, independent work time. And so here's something else to consider. So for middle school students, we know that we have to build out a schedule. So I might be an 8th grade student who has period 1 asynchronous something. Well, even though it's on the schedule for in the morning, that doesn't mean I have to do it at that time if it's an asynchronous model for that class. So there's so much flexibility, there's so much potential for families getting to work, like Cindy said, with the school to have their academics and have their content, but also do some, exploratory things with their kids in other realms as well. So here's an example of maybe what a splash page might look like for a morning meeting, okay? These are just examples, but like we said, social emotional learning, that's so important. We've been through just such a tough time as our whole society, as a whole world, and so teachers will have the opportunity to take that time to choose topics and talk with their students in their morning meeting. For middle school, the morning meeting will be through their homeroom teacher. In elementary school, the morning meeting would be with their grade level classroom teacher, okay? So we're talking about announcements, social emotional learning, community building, goal setting, things like that. All right. At a glance, this looks super overwhelming, but what we're trying to show here, you see a ton of information, but this is just one content standard. And the reason we wanted to show this is so that parents who are considering this for their children realize that we are putting a lot of thought, Tempe Elementary puts a lot of thought into breaking down all the different pieces of a standard that's going to help a child understand it. Okay, so again, no need to try to zoom in your screen and read this, but there's a lot of work here, from breaking down the individual pieces of the standards all the way to breaking down how different groups of kids will receive the content. We know that all of our students are at different ability levels, and we want to be able to reach all of those students. And so, ability level doesn't have to be a reason that your child doesn't consider online school. This could work for any child who has all the other circumstances that would make this good for them, okay? So again, Tempe has put a lot of time, and there need not be any concern that your child will receive a less rigorous education because they choose the online platform. Here's an example of just curriculum, digital curriculum that we have for students. Digital resources. This isn't the curriculum. Digital resources. So just like when your child goes to school, they get textbooks for math, reading, the other subjects that they do, the same thing will be true for our online learners. They will have access to digital resources, just like the in-person students. So here we have an example of, if we think about the independent learning time and the asynchronous time, we know, again, that kids are at all different levels, and we want to meet all of those kids where they are. So for this example, maybe the classroom teacher will assign one assignment that everybody is responsible for at some point in that day or at some point within a few days, right? But the other things are extension or based off of a student's interest for what they like to work with. I know kids who love to work in Flipgrid. We know kids who can, some of this is about creating your own anchor chart, and I know we can't read it, and it's not about the specifics, but just being able to provide opportunities for extensions for kids, but also with varying areas of interest, okay? So choice boards, learning menus, there will be lots of opportunities for the kids to kind of build the self-advocacy, the trait of self-advocacy within themselves to kind of know, okay, I have to do this, but what else on here would I enjoy doing and would help me grasp this content more? This online platform is the perfect opportunity to have that really personalized, more one-on-one learning for your child. And again, specials again at the elementary level, they'll have access to music, PE, art, and special projects. And then at the middle school level, here are some examples. Honestly, I'm thinking about my own children. Personal finance, I want to find a school that lets them do personal finance when they're in middle school. The exploration and innovation. So what we really want you to take from this is just the opportunity for your child to really get to explore and dive into their own education in this online learning platform. Now I'm going to welcome Cindy Inman back up, who's going to talk about curriculum.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Catherine, for going through such a great day of learning. That was fun. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and talk about the curriculum that's going to be offered for our online academy students. You'll see that the curriculum vendors that we go with are the same ones that the classroom teachers use at the school level. So ELA is going to be the same for both elementary and middle school. We go with Hood and Mifflin, and we go with the Harcourt. In mathematics, we're going to get a new adopted series here, and so we're working on that right now. So we're really hoping at the beginning of the school year that both elementary and middle school will get up and running and started with our newly adopted math program, which is very exciting. In science, we do have a different vendor that we work with. You can see that elementary is with McMillan, McGraw-Hill, middle school goes with Pearson, and in social studies, we again go with Harcourt for elementary, and middle school is with McGraw-Hill, Glencoe. The other option that we have here as well is ExactPath. And with ExactPath, this is an adaptive software so that a student can go ahead and they start at a level and then they do the work. And then that gives you the level of where they're at. They will move them ahead if they understand the concept. They will give them some other remediation types of activities if they're not understanding it. But this is where teachers can really make such an impact because they can go in there and they can see exactly where that student is, where they need to pull a small group, and where they can give some of those skills and build up some of those skills. So exciting to have a program like ExactPath, and then we have Study Island to help us with our social studies and science as well. Great programs here. The other thing that I want to talk about is our student services that we provide. Again, I think Tempe Elementary School District is so well known for the services that they provide for all of our students. This is also going to be the same case for our online academy. We will service Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 students. Tier 1 is the whole general. We will do whole group lessons. Everybody will get that same lesson. And then Tier 2 is where we can break down the lessons into smaller groups and smaller needs for students. You might be pulled for a small group session to be able to really hone in on a skill or an activity with other peers that maybe are needing that same skill, and maybe it's by yourself. You'll be able to have that individualized, personalized setting that we can make sure that we meet those needs. Then we also have some Tier 3 opportunities. We have one that's called Move On When Reading. So when students qualify for Move On When Reading, we have Move On When Reading teachers that come in to work with those students. We also have cross-categorical resource. We have resource teachers that will come in and work with those students. Also know that if your child has speech or language, we have teachers that can help them with that. We also have ELL teachers that will come in and will be working on lessons with their students. And our gifted program, we have a gifted teacher that is going to be assigned to help with this program and work with our gifted students. So as you can see, we are wanting to make sure that we are reaching all of the different students in this program. Some of the personalized services that go along with one-to-one learning is that after-school online and in-person tutoring is going to be available for students, as well as one-to-one support by our teachers. Again, we talked about small group instruction. This is really where we can get that personalization and that individualized instruction for our students going. And lastly, again, that adaptive software I think is something that's really exciting and something that our students will get a chance to look at. So very exciting curriculum-wise. All right, this part is the part that I get so excited about, the clubs and activities. So if you are an online learner and you want to be a part of a club or an activity, at this point in time, the clubs and activities are taking place after school, and you can come in person and be with that after-school club. You can choose to do the in-person option, or some of the clubs will have a virtual option as well. So these will be held at Rover Elementary School, and you can come on in. And imagine some of these clubs, like the Rubik's Cube Club, and using different puzzles and doing different problem-solving games. The Battle of the Books, really talking with others about why a certain book is better than another book and how exciting that would be. And a theater club, we can get our theater on. We can just kind of decide what we want to do and where we want to go with that. That's a fun one. A yearbook club, getting everybody ready to go for what the year looks like. So let's get an online yearbook club so we can get our whole year going as well. And gardening club, how fun is that? Maybe you have a garden at home. You can do the virtual online gardening club and garden at home. Many opportunities for our elementary students. Our middle school students have quite a few opportunities as well. These are going to be taking place at the Fees College Prep, and they again are after school at this point in time. Some in person, some virtual. So some of these are great. You know about the athletics. There are many, many, many sports that are going to take place after school. Again, you are more than welcome to become part of that. We've got volleyball, basketball, we've got flag football, we've got soccer. There are all of those activities you can become a part of. You can become a part of student council, or they have this aerial club. they have these scarves that like dangle from the rooftop, and you can swing on them and do some different things. I mean, how fun is that? I mean, Spirit Line, Kindness Club. Wouldn't you love to be part of a Kindness Club? I would love that. Social Justice Club. I think in the world that we're living in right now, being a part of the Social Justice Club and understanding what's going on in your world, so many great opportunities that we'd love for you to be able to take advantage of as well. All right, so here's something we feel really strongly about. There are many best practices for teachers. These are four that we really want to hone in on the Online Academy, encouraging diversity of instructional approaches. And this is really for the teachers to really come in and make sure that we are being diversified in the way that we are giving instruction, that it's not the same all the time, that there are different ways that we can meet students. Sometimes it's with a whole group, sometimes with the direct instructions, sometimes it's with small group. There are just different ways we can do that. We're excited to really hone in. Encouraging student discourse. This is students being able to talk and express themselves, being able to really get in there and have dialogue with other students, meaningful, rich dialogue. So we want to make sure that that's part of our academy. Inspiring student agency, voice and choice is so important for our young students. And we want to make sure that they have some voice and choice in what they're doing on a daily basis in their activities and their learning. And then we always go back to building relationships. Building relationships is so important to us because we want to make sure that everyone understands that there is a place for them, that they have relationships, they have people that are there to support them. All right, we do have some attendance expectations that go along with being part of the Online Academy. In third grade, we have weekly hours, so you have to be working for at least 20 hours a week, which would equate to about 4 hours a day. So now this does not include activities like recess or lunchtime. It has to be instructional time that you are participating in these hours, but it gives you flexibility. So there might be times where Catherine used the word synchronous and asynchronous, where you are working online live with a teacher, and sometimes you're working independently. So maybe there are some days of the week where you're doing something and you're going to go to the zoo with your family in the afternoon on a Wednesday. You might want to flex those hours a little bit so that you can make up some of those hours maybe on Thursday, or you did it on Tuesday. But by the end of the week, everybody will need to turn in hours, and they will have to show that they worked 20 hours a week. If you were a third grader, our fourth and fifth graders, it would be 25 hours a week. Sorry, fourth through sixth graders. And our seventh and eighth graders is 27 and a half hours a week. And so that's something that we will work on with you to make sure that all of those hours are tracked and that we are working and making sure that all of that content is being taken care of. All right. The other thing we want to bring to your attention is that we do have an online learning agreement. This is something that every student in Tempe Elementary School District actually signs. It's a family handbook that is given to you at the beginning of the school year, and it goes through everything. It goes through how to know the expectations within the Tempe Elementary School District. So it goes through the discipline procedures and general guidelines and things like that. That's something that every student is going to have to sign, everybody in Tempe Elementary School District. But we have one more that we are going to have an online learning agreement for the online students. So there will be a second one that you would need to sign as well. And that is all about complying with the attendance policy. So we just went through there. Every week we want to make sure that we are signing that we are actually learning for those amount of hours, and that goes to the State Department. We have to earn passing grades. You must attend school, like you have to be coming every single week. So we talked about the possibility of if your family is going out of town, you can go out of town, but you can still learn while you're out of town, because every week you must come to school and you must attend and complete coursework. So those are some of the things that you're going to be also asked to do on the online agreement, is making sure that those things are in place as well. All right. State and district-wide assessments. Now that's something that everybody should be pretty familiar with right now, because we're in the middle of that right now. So these are the different state and district-wide assessments that we give in the Tempe Elementary School District. The Online Academy also has to give these state and district-wide assessments. Many of these will be where you need to come into the campus and take the test in person, and then and then we'll move on, and the rest of your learning will be online. But for these particular ones, you will have to come into the campus. I shouldn't say for all of them. For many of them, you'll have to come into campus, and we'll be working on those and doing those tests on site. All right, so just wanted to talk a little bit more about what could possibly make our school unique. So we already had a chance to talk about in this virtual environment, you're going to be meeting with your teachers. And you're going to have live lessons with your teachers, you're going to have small group meeting lessons, and it's all going to be done virtually. The one thing that's a little bit different in middle school is every middle schooler is going to get a homeroom teacher assigned to them. We want to make sure that all of our students have that connection starting the very, very start of the day so that they can build goals and talk about their day and know that what their success model is. So we're going to start off our day with that homeroom teacher, making sure that that success model is in place. And then we're going to move on to live lessons and have those different assignments, some pacing guides and things like that. Something that you need to know is you'll have the freedom to work wherever. You can work wherever you want to, as long as it has internet capability. You'll have the freedom to flex your time in your weekly schedule. Teachers will be able to assist on a daily basis and help you on a daily basis. And monthly contacts with families will be made available for everyone. All right, so now we want to go ahead and we want to talk a little bit more about our website. You can get to the website if you're not there already, or when you get a chance, you can just go to Tempe Schools, www.tempeschools.org. You want to do / and do Online Academy, and that will take you directly to our page. Okay, our page is going to look like this, and you'll see we have many sub-pages. We have many sub-pages, so if you didn't get all of your questions answered tonight, there are many sub-pages that can help you through some other questions that you may have. The About TEOA sub-page is right here, and we have an FAQ session on the About TD3. So on here, there are many questions that we have been receiving, and we wanted to write those out so that if there are questions that come up, we're going to continue to answer questions here. So if more and more questions come back to this page. You'll see this page continue to grow as we get questions. The other page we really need to talk about tonight is the enrollment page. So when you navigate to the enrollment page, the one thing we want you to really understand is about parent view. So every parent must have a parent view account before they are able to sign up and enroll in the Tempe Elementary Online Academy. If you already have a parent view account, you're good to go. You can just go straight to the enrollment button. But if you do not have a parent view account, you're just going to be emailing parentview@tempeschools.org, and you're going to ask them for a key. They're going to get back to you, and they're going to need your name, your child's name, their date of birth, and their birth location. And once they have all of that information, they will give you a key, and then you will be able to get in and enroll through Tempe Online Academy. Enrollment is going to open up on Monday. So Monday the 19th is when that will open up. So you will go ahead and you will click either here or you will click here, and that's going to take you straight to the enrollment form. So that's how you would get enrolled on the Tempe Online Academy. Here's the thing to know is when you go through there, there's a lot of different pages that you're going to be clicking on. If you feel like there's something that you have questions about or there's something you're not sure, we have a Contact TEOA page, and on there is a number that you can call, and we can for sure get you directed to whomever you need so that we can make sure we can get you through that information. So please know that enrollment is all online for the Online Academy, and you can enroll your child here. If you are new to the Tempe Elementary School District, at this point in time, you're going to fill out an interest form, and that form is included on the website as well, and that's the yellow tab here for new families. So again, that will open up on Monday for us. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to a question and answer portion. We've got a few questions One question was, will there be a cost involved to attend the Tempe Elementary School District Online Academy? So this school is part of the Tempe Elementary District and is covered under FAPE, which is free and appropriate public education. So no, there is no cost involved in attending the Tempe Elementary Online Academy. So the next question is, what is our best way to reach out and talk with someone from the Tempe Elementary Online Academy? All right, onlineacademy@tempeschools.org is a great way to get a hold of us. That's our email that will take it directly to a few of us and we'll be able to answer your questions. Or you can always call 480-730-7124. Cecilia will be answering the phone and then she will direct exactly wherever your question is, and she will make sure she has the right person to be able to answer your questions for you. Another question is, will a laptop and charger be provided for every student? Yes, every student will receive a district-issued laptop and a charger, and we will make sure that that's in working order, and we have ways to exchange those out if something another happens so that we can make sure that they are all working and you are successful with one of the laptops. All right. Is this my only remote or online opportunity for the next school year? Yes. The Tempe Elementary Online Academy will be the only online option for the 21-22 school year. We will not be having any remote options in the actual school sites around the district. Only the Tempe Elementary Online Academy will have online classes. All right, am I still registered at my current school if I enroll for the Tempe Elementary Online Academy? It's a great question. You can only be enrolled at one school at a time. So if you enroll on the online academy, you are then no longer enrolled at your current school. So again, one school at a time for enrollment. Great question. All right, so questions that were asked in this chat this evening, or questions that we received through email or other means, will be posted at the bottom of that About TEO page where we had the FAQs. So just know that those questions will continue to come and they will continue to be updated. All right, thank you. Yes, again, it's at the bottom here, and that's where you can find any questions that were asked tonight. We just wanted to thank you so much for joining us this evening. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. We look forward to getting to know everyone, and we thank you for joining us here tonight.